Yeah, I did. Okay. I am, first off, just before I get into this awesome movie review, by the way, um, I mentioned on Snapchat that I had two free giveaways. Sadly, that I didn't know that a lot of you wanted it. So by the end of this week, if they still have two of the more of these Justice League limited edition collectibles, I will try and get you those. But for now, these two are taken at the moment, so I am terribly sorry. I will try to pursue more of these. I'll try and get at least five of these at least, because a lot of people wanted it. But for now, you'll have to wait. And if I don't actually end up getting them, I am terribly sorry. But in other news, I have been very lagging. But now that I have a weekend over, by the way, happy Thanksgiving to all those who are watching this. And now that I have a bunch of free time, I can get into the movie reviews and TV show reviews that I'm trying to do. I did Stranger Things, finished that a long time ago, and I'm planning an upcoming review for Thor. But for now, since I just watched this yesterday, we'll get into this right now. Justice League. First off, let me pull up some information that I found on a movie. Give me a second. This also concerns the movie, by the way. So, yeah, the things I am looking at right now concern the movie, and it's somewhat in a good way and also in a partially bad way, in my opinion. Because when I read this, I was kind of shocked. I'm waiting for this to load. By the way, while I wait, oh, never mind. By the way, just want to start off this review by saying don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes at all. Do not listen to Rotten Tomatoes at all, because right now they're giving it a 37, and all in all, Batman v Superman should have gotten a 37. Right now it's getting like a 50% still to me. And I've heard someone say this before. Justice League is like a rebound. Oh, by the way, nice haircut, by the way. Justice League is like a turnaround for WB and the DCEU, and that is a very good thing. It started with Wonder Woman. When Wonder Woman first came out, everyone's like, yes, you're doing these DC movies right, and people have finally kind of given faith to DC instead of Marvel, because Marvel has been so far beating DC in the long run of movies. And all in all, this movie is a really good movie. I recommend watching it so far. I mean, just by okay, I'm not saying you should watch it because of these movie tickets, but just look at this. Look at this art. This, I don't know who did it. Who did this? It doesn't say, but like whoever did this art is by far the coolest. And I've seen posters for Justice League, and they're it's so unique in a way. And I've seen Thor, I've seen like posters from Marvel and stuff like that, but I really like these kind of art stills and stuff like that. And so what I saw for Justice League, oh right, it's a good film, really. It is a good film. Sorry, my thoughts have been jumbled all around today, because I've been busy. But this movie is really good. I really recommend watching this. It doesn't beat Man of Steel. It doesn't beat Man of Steel or Wonder Woman, that's for sure. Well, it's kind of like a sequel in a way to Wonder Woman. Like they kind of give you the continuation of what she's doing in London and stuff. But it doesn't beat Man of Steel, that's for sure, because Man of Steel is like it's like the Iron Man of all films in DC, because it's like he started it all. And then for me it's not a 10 out of 10. But who knows, because I've read that in this article, it says that in some cases it was cut down to 2 hours, and I was curious, was it really, how long really was it? Because I know in some of the trailers it looks that some of the stuff has been cut out. Like in the first trailer, we see Barry kind of fight a parademon, and it was like where'd that scene go? And also in one of the trailers, we see Alfred talk to someone who's like, let's hope you're not too late. And then we actually don't know who that is, because I still think it's Superman in a way, because I don't know, I'm gonna get to that later. By the way, spoilers in a way. There is some spoilers for those DC fans out there, so let's get into the review, shall we? So, Justice League. Is it bad? Is it worse than Batman v Superman? No, I'm gonna confirm that right now. I'm gonna just tell my score right now. It's an 8 out of 10. I'm gonna get a solid 8 out of 10. IMDb is giving it a 7.5. I mean, it's kind of close. Oh, wow, the movie is actually 1 hour and 59 minutes. It's so short. No wonder. Okay, so, yeah, that's the actual running time. No wonder. Because in the movie, for me, I've actually read some of the comics, and I've read some of the backstories towards all these characters, like Darkseid, Steppenwolf, and everything, Parademons. And seeing this come to life is actually like a dream come true. And it's very, like, mesmerizing in a way to see how they wanted to progress these kind of characters, and to show whoops, and to show like how they want to show him. For example, they showed Batman again, like because we've already kind of saw Batman's backstory in Batman v Superman for like the 3rd time. They show him very, very happy. They give him more of a comedic tone, which I wasn't expecting in a way. I was actually to like have the Flash be kind of a comedian is a very good thing, considering that I'm a huge fan of the CW Flash. I love that TV show, and I love the characters they created, the actors especially. And to see, Barry in the big screen, to see his father, to see the CCPD, it was so like kind of like trippy in a way, because I recently just watched the episode before I went to the to watch the movie, and I was just like, what? And it's like watching your dream come true. They did Cyborg really well towards the end of the movie, actually. The beginning of the movie, Cyborg was really kind of low-key, depressed, and I can see that. He's a cyborg. He's a biometric humanoid, basically combined with machinery from an alien planet. And I know how it would feel. But then at some points he's like, I don't want to do this no more. He's like, I don't want to do this, guys. And the actor, he made me love Cyborg as a character. And because I watched the Teen Titans when I was a kid, back in like the 2001, 2005, and just seeing the way that I feel like the actor Ray, I think his name is Ray Fisher. Is it Ray Fisher? Yeah, Ray Fisher. Okay, so Ray Fisher I feel like he kind of encaptures that personality from Teen Titans era, because at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, they save the day, but they kind of save the day in a way, and him and Superman, yes, Superman's in this film, another spoiler, we all kind of knew that, but I'm not going to tell you how he came back. He kind of starts to be like, man, my left foot hurts. How does that even work? And it's like, I don't even know how it possibly happens. And he says, booyah. And that was like a kind of a highlight, because I saw the trailer for that, and it was like, booyah. And I'm like, oh, no way. And that made me even love him even more, because I love Teen Titans. I loved Cyborg and Beast Boy, Starfire, Raven, Robin. And, just seeing, Cyborg be in the big screen. Hopefully they do a big screen version of Teen Titans right. They don't do the Teen Titans Go. Wonder Woman is amazing in this film, as always. And I want to say Aquaman, He is funny. I love Aquaman. I love Jason Momoa. There's a funny scene. I'm sorry for stuttering. There is a funny scene where like they're about to fight Steppenwolf and his parademon goons, and then he's just sitting on the Batmobile, and he's like kind of confessing everything, and he's like, honestly, I think we're all gonna die. And he's saying to Wonder Woman, oh, you're beautiful, you're hot, oh my gosh. And then Batman's like, and then Wonder Woman's like, yeah. And then Batman's like, you're sitting on something, and he's like, he kind of confesses everything, and he's like, and it turns out he was sitting on the lasso of truth, and it was so funny just to see that scene. It's like, I hate you all. And then he goes to Barry's like, if you say a word to this to anyone, I'll make sure prawns eat you alive. And I'm just like, hey. And to see the kind of interaction between the characters is really so unique in a way, because I've seen Avengers. And okay, I don't know why people are comparing this movie to Avengers, because Avengers took what, like a few years to kind of make, because they started with Iron Man in 2010, then around the same time, I think 2010 or 11, the Incredible Hulk came out with Edward Norton. Then 2012 came out with Thor, or I think 12 it came out with Thor. Wait. I'm just saying, it took a long time. It took a while. But Justice League, it only took, what, a few movies? Like Batman of Steel, Batman v Superman, Wonder Woman, then Justice League. 4 movies. So, or Suicide Squad, I should mention. Would that even count? Whatever. Oh, wait, it does. Never mind. So then, it's just like, wow, okay. So then, basically, it doesn't really matter how many movies you take. Although there is some, like, kind of flaws in the way they kind of did this, was that, we don't get much, like, backstory towards all these characters besides, like, Cyborg, Aquaman, Flash, just those main 3 characters, because, it feels well-paced, at the same time really rushed. It has that weird feeling where you watch, it's like, oh, I've seen that in the trailers, and then it ends, it's like, wait, what? I want more. You want more. And, it just gives you that feeling of, like, for those who've, like, grown up with the cartoons, by the way, you will love the soundtrack for this. And who has grown up with the 1969 Batman? I believe it's the 1969 Batman. The one with, Michael Keaton. The original Batman. You would, if you listen closely, you will hear the original Batman theme, because the Danny Elfman, who was the original composer for the Batman film with Tim Burton, he joined the team after 25 years, and he basically used that theme, and it's really subtle, it's really hidden in there. If you are like true Batman fans, you'll hear it, like I did, and there's also like tiny hints of like Superman's theme, and it was massive. It was such a good like fan service. This movie was a really good fan service. If you pay really close attention, you'll see it. And all in all, the major like director change between Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder. No offense, Zack Snyder. I like your filming. I love 300. I love Man of Steel. Kind of liked Batman vs Superman, but I kind of like Justice League a lot more. And considering that Joss Whedon has like experience with like Avengers and everything, because he made 2 Avengers films, so he would be like, oh, I'll take this away from you. And I feel sorry for your loss, by the way, Zack Snyder. It's just that like the way it looks from the beginning of the film, I can tell this is a bit of like, oh, this is Zack Snyder, slow motion gives it away. But towards like the middle and the end, like the progression of the film, you start to feel a different vibe. You start to feel more of like, I've seen this before, and that's because I think that's when Joss took over. He did a lot of reshoots. You can kind of see them, and you see a major shift in tone in the film, because since they changed directors, you see different ways of making the film. For example, Zack has a more dark, more bleak depressing tone, evil tone in a way, like with Batman v Superman. Everything had like a gray or a kind of a gray greenish dark olive green filter in in the warehouse scene with Batman. That was a good scene, by the way. And in this one, everything is more brought up. Everything has a more kind of like this kind of tone, more light, more blue, more green, light green, baby blue, any stuff like that. And it's a very unique take because for one, the Justice League cartoons had a very colorful tone and a very colorful personality. So I see, like, you know, maybe this was kind of like copying the cartoon in a way, which is a good thing, by the way. And, you know, all in all, it's still a good film. And I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I give it a solid 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 is my score. Now onto the big spoilers. So here on my laptop, I see that okay, I got it. So, spoilers. How did they bring back Superman? By a mother box. And to those who don't know what mother boxes are these kind of powerful entities capable of creating life and death at the same time. It is supposed to be like kind of like a restart button in a way. You know how like you have to refresh, it clears everything, and then it goes back again. That's how it is. That's how they explained it in the film. And to me, like, I honestly forgot how to explain a mother box. I know how to, it's used to recreate the world of Darkseid's planet known as Apokolips, which is like basically a cybernetic dystopian world. And it's very harsh, it's very intense. Only one person lives on it, and yeah. So then Steppenwolf comes through a boom tube, which is basically like this big portal. And they really overemphasize the boom part in the sentence, because when he first comes out, you hear this boom, and it's like, hey, boom tube. A little bit loud on the boom tube. Yeah. So then apparently Steppenwolf, so here the way they explained it is apparently Steppenwolf came to Earth to colonize the world, to make it Darkseid's planet or world. And the original Justice League, which comprised of Atlanteans, Amazonians, Lanterns, which I'll get into later, but like they mention the Green Lantern Corps, and you see one dude fly around after he gets kind of killed by Steppenwolf's axe. But it was so, like, you know, DC is doing it right. You know, WB is kind of like saying, I wonder how we're gonna, you know, fix everything. Oh, I know, tease a little bit of Green Lantern, and I have faith because we see, you know, it's not a suit, but it's just, you know, because I don't know, I think an alien was wearing the ring, and you see kind of black and green and white, and then, you know, the ring kind of goes off and kind of finds a new owner, and then the suit goes away, and I'm like, yes. And it wasn't like kind of like CGI. Well, it was CGI because it was an alien, but who knows? We'll see how it'll turn out in the film in 2020, the Green Lantern Corps film, which I have faith for, because I really adore the Green Lanterns because of how immense the story is. And since we have already seen Hal Jordan, I really want Jon Stewart, Idris Elba, cast Idris Elba, please. Anyway, back to Justice League. So the way they where was I? Oh yeah, when the Atlanteans, Amazonians, and all the old gods like Zeus, not Ares, Artemis, and who else? I actually don't remember, but because it was so quick. So yeah, they had all of them in an alliance to destroy Steppenwolf, and turns it worked, and you know they celebrated. They're like, huzzah! So then they decided to split the 3 boxes between the groups. The one will go to the Amazonians, which Steppenwolf took, and one would go to the Atlanteans, Steppenwolf also took, and one would go to the humans, which he took. Yeah. So then he, you know, he comes back, I think, give or take a few hundred years ago, and you know, he comes back like with fueled with rage from his exile, and then he gathers these mother boxes to create Apocalypse initially. And throughout the film, the course of the film, Cyborg is a really key character because he's the only one connected to the parademon technology. And you know, in my other, like, you know, non sort of review, I love how he kind of he has that quirky attitude, but at the same time, you get a sense of fear because he knows the feeling of like being not human, considering how cybernetic he is, and also like once he goes in it, he might never come back. I think he says, and you know, they really did fix a lot of things. One thing is with Superman, the way they bring back Superman is by a mother box, and you know, funny enough, they go to the reanimation chamber where Lex Luthor created baby Zod or Doomsday, and they drop the mother box in this really cool scene with the Flash where he has to run a certain amount of distance and touch the mother box as soon as it touches the water, and that's how they bring him back. And there's this, you know, as soon as they comes back though, Superman is very confused. He's very like, what, you know, and you know, Wonder Woman tries to calm him down, but then next thing you know, Aquaman starts having a heart rate, and then Cyborg's system goes kind of defense mode and pulls out an arm cannon. He's like, "That's not me," and then they kind of fight each other. It's and then you know, he slaps everyone. He's like, "Bah!" You know, then you know, Batman tries to get his attention and says, "Alfred, I need the big guns," and then he goes to Batman in a very revengeful way. He goes like, "You wouldn't let me live, and you wouldn't let me die now," and it's like, the world needs you. Batman says, like, the world needs Superman, and he's like, "Yes, they do, but does it need you?" And then he says one of the most coolest things ever to Batman. He's like, "Do you bleed?" And I'm like, "Ooh, get it?" And then apparently when Batman says we need the big guns, it was Lois Lane. She's finally useful, unlike in Batman v Superman. And just the way they handled Supes in this movie was so good. They play Superman's theme, the classic Christopher Reeves theme song, and I was so happy when they did it. Hold on, let me. When they played his theme, I was so like pleased, and I was just utterly, I was geeking out because initially
everyone has limitless potential.
This is an ad. Sorry.
It's just potential.
They played this. They played it, and just hearing that, a bunch of people in the crowd of my theater went nuts for it, because I think it was when he was fighting Steppenwolf. Yeah, there's a big climax moment where Steppenwolf gets a little weak. Throughout the film, actually, Steppenwolf is like a weak villain, and I kind of didn't like it. Well, in a way, in the beginning, he like mows down like a bunch of Amazonians, and you don't, like, there's that really strong tension. You don't know who's gonna make it, because the Queen was in there, and you don't know whether or not she's gonna make it out. But then, like, when he goes to Atlantis, you know, he kind of goes, wow, you know. But, you know, throughout, he does have a really cool CG. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is not necessarily like a bad thing on the entire film, but on one character. Some of you may read that Superman or Henry Cavill had to CGI out his mustache for like a Mission Impossible film, and it was like apparently important because he was already like thick. So there's this one shot where it's like a found footage film on some kid's phone asking whether or not he's gonna fight a hippo, and I'm not lying to you, his upper lip literally looked like this. Like, it was like that. And then, yeah, he would look like that. And I'm just like, I didn't even know about this until I was like, wait, what's up with his lip? It was so out of the ordinary. They didn't even need that shot. And then there was one scene where like he comes back and he goes to their old original house, and then he goes to the farm, and there was like this one close up of his face with Lois, and all you see is his lip kind of go like, yeah. It was like very rubbery, and I don't like it. I'm very nitpicky about that, but that's just me. Like, if you can't notice it, then like you're fine. And you know, for me, I love DC. I love both Marvel and DC. I'm a very dorky person that way, and I just I have strong faith in Justice League. I have strong faith in DC now, because after seeing this film and Wonder Woman, you know, they've had a very tough run. But you know, like what they say, the more you push for it, the more success you may go for it. Oh, by the way, this is the theme, Batman's theme. Another ad. Ah, go away. This is not. I don't know. Right here. Yeah, it's just that part, that dun 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 dun, and I'm like, ooh. By the way, I do not own any of these songs, so I'm not getting paid for this. No product placement, please. Don't copyright this. So yeah. All in all, go watch this film. Do not listen to any critics at all, please. Critics are killing movies, and I don't even know why. I don't even know. Okay, in my opinion, I don't even know why like certain critics exist. Like, for example, like at New York Times. No, not New York Times. Like movie critics. Like, they really don't they don't necessarily have to be a kind of a jerk to these type of movies, especially for like Suicide Squad, kind of Civil War, or like any comic book movies. They don't really like them. I don't know, and yet why they watch it. For example, in Suicide Squad, they're saying how unrealistic it is that the Joker would not act like that. It's a comic book movie. Like, it's fictional. It doesn't make sense. Like, and in this one, like, here, let me see if I can pull up some like things said about Justice League. Because it doesn't really, like, make sense as to why see, Justice League has, 40%. What the? Really? Everything, even the strength, can turn the ship all the way around. Well, actually, they're talking about the CGI, but I'm trying to find something. See, look at this. For example, one person says, everyone involved in Justice League and everyone who will eventually see it deserves something better than this. So you're saying, like, I don't understand, like, how does this even work? You can't say no. See, like, I don't know who these people are, but you have to understand that, like, they're not making this movie for you. They're making this movie for, like, us, me, people who read the comics, who understand the story. So, like, the fact that they're saying that this is a terrible story, or it's a very unconvoluted, like, someone here says that, like, even the strength of Superman couldn't turn this ship all the way around. It does, like, Batman was a good character. Aquaman was, like, he wasn't really in the film for, like, all the things, but in a way he was. And to me, it's just like, why do you crap all over superhero movies? I mean, that's just me. Honestly, that's just me. I'm gonna stop right there. Anyway, I mentioned that I might get back to these sooner or later. I'm going to try to find these on eBay. Yeah, these will be definite. I will try to find definitely like 5 more of these. because these two go to two of my special friends out there in the world, if I have any friends. So yeah, that is this is my review on the Justice League film. 8 out of 10. I recommend you go watch it right now. It's currently in theaters, still showing, making well, how much did it make? See, 85% of audience liked it. That's like actually a good thing. So yeah, go see it. I recommend go see it. I'm not gonna force you or anything. If you don't have money, then that's fine. But go out and watch this film, because if you're a fan of DC and if you're a fan of like any character in the DC, Cyborg, Flash, Wonder Woman, go out and see this film. And that is my review on Justice League. Bye. Thank you.